This is Nikola Jokic. This is Serbia. And this week, a leaked presser clip set off alarms across Belgrade. The headline says simple rotation talk. But the tone? Sharp. The face? Stone cold. And with Eurobasket 7 days away, the margin for error just got razor thin. Here is the snapback. Serbia just smashed Slovenia in Belgrade 106-72, with Jokic barely breaking a sweat. Yet the story after the blowout was not the scoreboard. It was a tense exchange that allegedly showed Jokic and coach Svetislav Pesic pushing back on each other about who plays, when, and with whom. One tape calls it debate. The comments call it clash. Either way, it drops right before the group opener on August 27th. So what is at stake? Everything Serbia has chased for 24 years. Gold. The last Euro title came in 2001. They took silver at the 2023 World Cup. They fought for bronze at Paris 2024. This core has seen every medal except the one that matters most to them. Every minute, every substitution, every pairing around Jokic is a decision between comfort and risk. Let's lay out the receipts. 4 days ago, Pesic said this is not Jokic's team or Bogdan's team. It is a team of 10 plus Jokic and Bogdanovic. He wanted balance. He wanted roles. He wanted buy-in across 12. 2 days later, he bristled at the idea that Jokic can coast through prep. He said bad preparation makes bad results. That is not a coach attacking a star. That is a coach drawing a line for everyone. But here is the tension. Jokic is the world's best offensive hub. He thrives with shooting, cutting, and a spaced floor. Serbia also has real size with Nikola Milutinov and young size with Tristan Vukcevic. Those choices pull the lineup in two opposite directions. Do you stack muscle to punish the glass, or do you open the lane and let Jokic play point center at the nail? Every second unit change answers a different question. We saw a preview against Slovenia. Jokic did not chase points. He read. He passed. Miami's Nikola Jovic led scoring. Bogdan Bogdanovic sprayed threes. Serbia's runs came from cutting lanes, swing passes, and clean looks. That is the template the staff has hinted at all summer. It is a Jokic-centric playbook that rewards movement and shooters. If rotations clog those lanes, the whole engine stalls. So when a clip surfaces that looks heated, the fan base jumps to conclusions. Is Jokic unhappy with a too big look? Is the staff pushing for longer Milutinov stretches? Is there a battle over how many minutes Vasilija Micic can handle as a downhill guard while he manages his health? The truth lives in the details, not the rumor. The details are what decide medals. Start with the 5. Jokic is the starter. That is locked. Milutinov gives elite screening and rebounding. He punishes switches and seals smalls, but pairing him next to Jokic for long stretches tightens the paint. It invites a second defender to sit in a big body's lap. It also slows transition defense. If Serbia faces Giannis and Greece, or the turbo guards on Turkey, that risk multiplies. Playing one big at a time keeps the passing lanes clean and the closeouts sane. Now the 4th. Nikola Jovic changes the geometry. He can handle, shoot, and cut. He plays off Jokic with timing, not just spacing. He proved it in the Slovenia game, leading scorers, attacking from the slot, and cutting back door when Jokic drew 2. If Pesic leans into that pairing, Serbia gets a modern shape. You see 5-out triggers, elbow split action, and duck-ins that create high-low looks without sacrificing space. That is how you score late in tournaments, when whistles tighten and half-court execution wins. The guards decide the pace. Bogdan Bogdanovic is the closer. He can run a side pick and roll or lift from the corner into a handoff with Jokic. Micic, if healthy, is the glue. He bends the first defender and forces rotations that Jokic punishes. Aleksa Avramovic is the pressure point on defense. He picks up full court, digs at the nail, and flips momentum with deflections. In a knockout game, those small swings are the difference between a 6-0 run and a 10-2 avalanche. So where can a clash even happen? Minutes, who closes, and how much the second unit copies the first. Jokic-led units function like the Nuggets. Cutters orbit the hub, the ball never sticks. You attack matchups only when the switch is fatal. If the staff throws a second center in for muscle without the right wings, the rhythm dies. If they overplay pure shooting and lose length, the defense leaks. You can feel why the debate would get loud. Everyone is right from a certain angle, everyone is wrong at another angle. There is also history. Serbia walked into Eurobasket 2022 as a favorite. They went home early against Italy, too static. Too few counters when the game slowed and the shots did not fall. They rebounded with silver at the World Cup and bronze at the Olympics. But the lesson stayed. You do not win these events on talent alone. You win with a plan that survives a bad whistle and a cold stretch. You win with a third quarter where the other star goes nuclear and you still steady the game. That is why the not Jokic's team line matters. It is not shade. It is structure. It says every guy has a specialty you cannot afford to bench. Avramovic's defense, Jovic's length and pace, Bogdan's shot-making and calm, Mitic's change of gears, Milutinov's bruising screens. You need those different tools to survive 5 different scouting reports in 10 days. It also frames Jokic's job. He is the best player. He is not the only solution. His superpower is not just scoring. It is solving. The greatest version of Jokic is the one who turns role players into weapons. When he trusts the cut becomes a layup. When he hits the short roll twice, the third pass creates a corner 3. That is what makes Serbia terrifying when the system clicks. That is also why rotation drama matters now, not in the quarterfinals. Let's talk matchups. In Group A, Serbia sees Estonia, Portugal, Latvia, Turkey, and Czechia. Latvia at home is no joke. Turkey has length and rangy wings. Czechia will try to drag Jokic into space. The opener on August 27th sets the tone. If Serbia's second unit drops a lead, you burn energy you cannot get back later. If the closing 5 looks clunky, you hand belief to teams that should not have it. Tournaments are made in those hidden minutes between the first and last horn. Now the reveal. Look closer at the summer tape and the staff quotes. Serbia has quietly shifted toward more Jokic elbow touches with pre-staged weak side actions. That is a bet on structure over star bailing. It means the play scores with any of 3 decisions. The curl hits, the backscreen frees a lob, or Jokic keeps and spins into the lane if the help cheats. That is not just give it to the MVP. That is, make the read that breaks the shell. If a heated clip exists, it may be about sticky sets that kill that rhythm. The counter case says this is noise. It says the clip shows passion, not fracture. It says Pacic's comments were aimed at media narratives, not Jokic. It adds that Serbia's 7-0 prep run and the 34-point win over Slovenia prove the locker room is fine. Fair, but pressure does not ask about August friendlies. It shows up when a quarterfinal hangs on 2 possessions with 2 minutes left and everyone is tired. The choices you argue about now are the choices that decide your season later. So here is the plan that wins. Start Jokic with Jovic and Bogdan. Add a defensive guard to hound the point of attack. Rotate a true 5 only when you can survive the spacing trade-off. Use it when the opponent's bench big cannot punish you on the perimeter. Keep a 3-shooter minimum around Jokic at all times. Close with the 5 who guard together, not the 5 who scored earlier. Make the hard sub when a hot hand becomes a bad matchup. That is the discipline that turns talent into gold. What about Mitic and Petrusev? Health is the quiet variable. If Mikic's minutes are managed early, the payoff is late-game control in the quarters and semis. Petrusev gives you a stretch big wrinkle if he is fully ready. If not, lean harder on guards who can screen slip and force switches without losing size. The point is not names. The point is archetypes. Jokic needs 2 shooters, 1 cutter, and 1 defender who can live in the gaps. Fill those jobs, and the identity holds across foul trouble and fatigue. Let's be honest about the villain. It is not Pacich. It is not Jokic. It is the clock. You get 1 week to settle a rotation that must beat 5 styles in 10 days. Europe has bodies, schemes, and coaches who love to steal a possession with a weird zone or a late baseline trick. Serbia can beat that if they stay simple. Touch the elbow. Cut with purpose. Trust the extra pass. Rebound as a gang. Talk on defense. Leave the drama to the timeline. But do not confuse simple with easy. The deeper Serbia goes, the more teams will press and hit. They will dare the refs to swallow the whistle. That is where rotations matter most. Fresh legs in the second quarter. Brains in the fourth. If the leaked clip is real and if it shows friction, good. You want the hard arguments now. You want the star to test the plan. You want the coach to defend the structure. That is how a great team gets on the same page before the stakes peak. So what happens next? Watch the opener on August 27th. Track the first substitution after the 6-minute mark. If Milutinov checks in next to Jokic, note the spacing and the tempo. If Jovic starts and stays hot, see if the staff rides him into the third. Look for Mitic's rhythm minutes, not his total minutes. And in crunch time, check who guards the other star at the point of attack. That will tell you how Pacic sees risk. Then look at the body language. Jokic does not yell often. He communicates with looks, nods, and the pace he sets with the ball. If the ball finds him early in possessions and the wings fly into motion, the messages have been heard. If he holds and scans too long, the spacing may be off. If Bogdan has to force late clock pull-ups, the actions before it did not bite. Those are little tells that reveal whether the depth is serving the hub or clogging it. Here is the verdict. Serbia is the favorite for a reason. The talent is real. The scheme is sharper. The preparation looked serious. The staff made a point to say this is not a one-man tour, and the best player in the world is healthy and engaged. He is surrounded by wings who fit. That combination beats rumors 9 times out of 10. It also invites the only pressure worthy of a champion. You have to finish the job. If you want a banner in September, you need brutal honesty in August. You need the fight before the fight. That is why a tense moment in front of microphones matters, even if the clip is messy and the translation is rough. It shows standard. It shows that comfort will not decide who plays. Fit will, form will, and the courage to bench a name for a matchup will. Do that, and the gold conversation stops being a fairy tale. It starts being the plan. And if Serbia lifts the trophy on September 14th, rewind this week. Rewind the quotes about team over star, rewind the debate about rotations, rewind the win over Slovenia where the blueprint flashed on the screen for 2 hours. You will see why the hard talk in August gave them calm in September. That is how great teams win. They win with clarity, they win with trust, and they win with a system that lets a genius be a teammate as much as a superstar. Until then, remember the simple math. Jokic plus space equals control. Jokic plus cutters equals easy points. Jokic plus shooters equals trouble for every defense in Europe. Keep that math on the floor. Keep the noise off the floor. Serbia will have every chance to end a 24-year wait with the only medal anyone there wants to talk about. This is not the end of a feud. This is the start of a standard. We will see on August 27th if the rotation choices match the promise. We will see whether the clip was a crisis or a spark. My bet is Serbia makes it a spark.